when they finish, they actually talk to each other. Maybe not about what they were doing the group on, but hey, right now, I'll take what I can get as far as community within the classroom. So, let's see, another study. I think that gives you enough of the idea. So, devices significantly impair the social group process that takes place in the classroom. So, let's talk about brain drain. This is really interesting. Let me see. All right, so now we're going to come back over here, and we're going to still talk about this working memory part. There are some components. Yeah, okay. So there's some components to what happens here. And one of those we call working memory capacity. Remember I told you it was already small? But there are tests that we can do with the computer to measure working memory capacity. And so that's what these graphs are. The blue columns are working memory capacity. Remember how important that is? It's the only way things get from here to here. And they studied working memory capacity under 3 conditions. In one group, the people who were doing the test of working memory capacity had the device on the desk. In the second group, they put the device in a pocket or a bag out of sight. In the third group, the devices were collected and kept in another room. You see what the effects of that are on working memory capacity? That you're down to, these scores are relevant, so compared to the pocket and the desk, your brain has got more space to function. If your phone is on your desk, your device is on your desk, it's taken up space in your working memory. It's no wonder that less of what's going on in class gets through your working memory into your long-term memory, because if the device is taking up the space. And I'm going to explain to you why that happens in a minute. If you put it in your pocket or bag, it's better. But we could also do this test where there was no phone anywhere around at all. You have to put the phone in another room before you get working memory back to its normal level. So just having the phone makes this is a brain drain. It's sucking your working memory capacity right down into the device. Fluid intelligence is another aspect of working memory. It's that intelligence that you've got going that makes everything put together. Same exact pattern. Brain drain into the device. Which one is this? Okay, so let's talk about why some of this happens. And maybe the most important thing I'm going to say is this. I did a TV thing. One of the local TV stations asked me to do a little special thing for them, and I did. And the reporter came to my office. We're on time. Okay. Reporter came to my office and she said, okay, here's what we want you to do. We want you to explain to the audience how the devices are affecting and deteriorating the brain of our kids. I said, no, I don't want to do that. Because they're not. Kids' brains are just fine. Your brains are just fine. That's not what's happening. Here's a better frame, I think, for what's happening. When you pull out a device, think about that device not as just your device, but encapsulated in this device are thousands of people who make billions of dollars because you tap it. So just imagine, every time you tap this device, there's thousands of people out there getting rich off of your tapping your device. And they are very good at getting you to tap your device, aren't they? Everything about this device is designed by multi-billion-dollar companies with super experts at how to get you to tap it. Because every time you tap a device, somebody makes $1. It's not me. So it's not about your poor work habits. It's not about your lack of ability to be self-disciplined. It's not about your lack of attention and motivation to your schoolwork because you have poor character. There's a battle going on here, folks. Sometimes in my class, I will say to them, now you know, I'm just one person against all those 1,000 people with millions of dollars for your attention right this minute. Let me win this one. Because I think that's more of an appropriate way to frame what's actually going on with these devices. Look how colorful they are. Look how many of the icons have red. Let's talk about one particular really sneaky strategy for getting you to tap and look at your devices. They're called notifications. If you turn on notifications, what happens? Ding, 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 ding. More grabbing of your attention. Okay? And so, one of the studies that I looked at, receiving a notification on your phone is as distracting as actually picking the phone up and texting with it or answering a call. Just knowing that there's a notification, what does it do? It sucks up working memory because you're thinking, it's there, it's there, it's there. As somebody pointed out in the workshop that I did the other day, not only do you get notifications in social memory, you get notifications that somebody is typing something for you to get a notification. Okay? So this device is not built for you. This device is built for them. This device is built for them to make money. Now, they are very wise in understanding that in order for you to use it, they have to make it do things that you will like for it to do. In the early days of designing software and programs, things like Facebook, Twitter, and so on, there's a saying among developers. There's really two different kinds of software. Let's take Microsoft Word, for example. Your Microsoft Word, somebody pays for it. Maybe you use what school has, maybe you pay for it yourself, but it doesn't have ads. And nobody cares how many times you click it, because you pay for it. It's a paid-for product that uses your computer, or your laptop, or whatever, your iPhone. There's a whole bunch of other things that you use, probably more than you use Microsoft Word or Excel. There's a whole other group of products that you don't pay for. And so the saying goes like this: if you didn't pay for the product, you are the product. Because whoever's providing that social marketing service, whoever's providing that game, they're collecting your data. And they're getting paid every time you click on something. So they're just using it. They're making tons and millions of dollars because they figured out how to steal your working memory. And love it. They're stealing from us and we love them for it, right? We love our Facebook, we love our whatever. So I think some of the key take-home lessons here. First of all, let's talk about classroom. One of the suggestions that I haven't actually done, but actually this is my last semester here at ACU, so I guess I won't do it, is to designate a place in the classroom for people who want to use devices at all. Okay, so how many people think they're going to want to use devices during class? All right, this is your section right here. I expect you to sit there. And you're free to use your devices, except when I tell you we're doing something else. Okay. So why would that help? Well, first of all, it helps with the secondhand smoke, doesn't it? Because now we've just got those people back there, and I've isolated them as well as I can from people who might not want to be shoulder surfing. So that's good. Okay, but the other reason is from a professor perspective and a classroom management perspective, is one of the things that makes this difficult is if everybody around the room could be using devices, I really don't want to walk up to you and say, hey, you, put up your device. I mean, nobody wants that.